And ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know we're back with another RotoHackers podcast. And just in case you didn't know, we're still back with another RotoHackers podcast.
I was going to say, I didn't know. Wait, what?
We are your unauthorized reporters of fantasy football news and information. My name is AJ Herschel, also known as The Kid. Right over here, you have the illustrious Judah Buddha. And right over there, we already know that it is the absolute stud. It's Jared.
Woo!
We are bringing you all the unauthorized news and fantasy football information from around the NFL. Gentlemen, how's your week going?
You want to hear the highlight of my week?
Oh, please, go ahead.
Sunday, I show up to church, and there is Eric Courier wearing a RotoHackers hoodie.
What?
White hoodie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, for the Super Bowl, he came to my house with white RotoHackers hoodie.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. I'm going to be completely honest. I love that so much.
That's pretty awesome.
That's so cool. Jared, how about you? How you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, nothing exciting going on. I don't know what the highlight of my week's been.
Yeah.
Did you watch Super Bowl?
I did watch most of it, yeah.
Most of it?
Yeah, I'd do another I just don't care about either of these two teams.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't. I did watch most of it. I mean, I would just miss like parts here and there because I would go to something else or something. So
you missed it's the best Super Bowl of our generation.
I don't know if I would go.
Name one better.
Eagles Patriots.
Yeah,
huh?
Eagles Patriots.
That was so much better. No. Philly special. Enough said. Nick Foles magically runs through the playoffs and takes down Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Much better.
Any game with the Patriots in it, like, I'm sorry.
Any game with the Patriots losing.
Most people probably tuned out. They're like, oh, Patriots in it again.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I mean, I was glad. I was glad that it went down to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really care. And like normally at some point during a game, I'll be like, oh, I want this team to win. And I guess I kind of wanted the Chiefs to win a little bit more, I guess. But I would have been fine either way.
I was rooting hardcore for the Chiefs. Yeah. I love Mahomes. I just love watching Mahomes play. There's nobody on the 49ers who, like, there's just nobody that gets me as excited as Mahomes. And just the play calling is interesting whenever. I mean, the fact that they always come back to win. All 4 games. They came back to win. They came back from a deficit, 10 or more points in each game.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I love the Chiefs. Not as much as the Packers, but the Packers weren't playing.
Yeah, well, it was kind of funny. My entire family was pulling for Kansas City because
now my audio has done something.
Oh, not again. Jared.
Difficulties. What happened? What are you hearing?
I tried to plug in headphones. That was my mistake. I tried to plug in headphones, and so.
Gotcha.
The new Mac can't support headphones and
maybe I can
microphone
dip out again and come back in while you guys are still going. I don't know.
Okay. Try it.
All right, we'll try that.
What about you, AJ? So the whole family was going for
Pulling for the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
So you went 49ers? You went with the losers?
No, I went Chiefs. If you
Okay.
remember our RotoHackers episode, we
don't.
all
That was a long
went
time
Chiefs.
ago.
We all went Chiefs.
Okay.
And part of that was under the part of that was because I love Andy Reid, and the other part of that is because my younger brother is a diehard Chiefs fan for just about no reason other than the fact that they wear red, which still doesn't make 100% sense. But anyway, so we were all really pulling for him, and the Chiefs got the win on his birthday, so he was pretty excited about that. We were all excited. I did not get my prediction even close to right.
What was your prediction?
34-31.
No.
However, I did win a bet against one of my small group leaders, and now he has to sing in front of our entire youth group, and he's trying to back out of it. So I do not.
You what? Wait, what happened?
We made a bet. So he gave me the 3 points. So he gave me the 3 points. So if Chiefs won by 3 or more, I win. If they won by 2 or less, or if the Niners won, he would win the bet.
Wow.
Whoever loses has to go and sing in front of our youth group. So I am excited. He's trying to back out of it, and I'm not going to let him.
Don't let him. Don't let him.
I'm very excited about that. That's going to be fun. But we were all pulling for the Chiefs. It was a very fun Super Bowl. At the very least.
I loved it. Like when Mahomes ran that one in, I was just going crazy. I was going crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I really think the unsung hero of the whole thing is Damian Williams.
I was going to say the same thing. Like if Mahomes didn't get the MVP, it should have been Damian Williams. He was electric.
Oh yeah.
And that's his MO, man. Like he gets into the playoffs and all of a sudden turns into this like beast.
Honestly, yeah.
It's crazy.
It was really shocking because I had one friend who had picked the 49ers to win, and all of us chose Chiefs. And at the end of the third quarter, he texted, 49ers got it in the bag. And I just said, it ain't over till it's over. And that was one of the most fun comebacks that I've seen in any game, period. It was a fun Super Bowl. It was much better, comparatively speaking, to last year's 10-3 grudge match. It was so much fun. It was such a fun Super Bowl.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was.
Which it's still kind of funny to me because Damian Williams rushes for over 100 yards, of course. I didn't realize this till afterwards. Mahomes threw the ball 42 times the whole game.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, and I thought so he has this record of I think what he has 12 touchdowns in the playoffs and
Something
Super Bowl,
like that. Yeah.
which is the record. And I was thinking, I was trying to remember because it doesn't feel like he threw that many touchdowns, but he really he did. I guess that it helps that he had 5 touchdowns against the Houston Texans, but I don't know. I was like, man, where did he get all these touchdowns? Because it just felt
honestly.
Oops, sorry.
It's crazy. Uh-oh.
Can we hear you?
All right. Come on.
Can you hear us?
Come on.
Hello? Oh, not good. Nothing?
Still?
Can't hear us?
No.
What if we leave?
Oh,
It's something to do with this program or something because I'm listening to it and other stuff and then I can hear my audio. So I don't
Interesting.
Don't know what it is.
Oh no, Judah Buddha's gone.
How about now?
And Judah Buddha's back.
Can you hear me now? 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 No.
Hello.
So it's weird. You could hear
Garrett.
he could hear us last time, right?
Yeah. That is strange. Maybe we need to find some way for him to still get his comments in. We need to find a way.
Sign language.
Will it work in? It was Google Hangout.
Can you
work in Chrome?
What?
Or in Safari, right? Maybe does this
Weird.
one work in Safari?
No, it works Chrome.
No, this one won't work in Safari.
Mm-mm.
No, Chrome. No,
Google Chrome.
Your signing is terrible. I think you just told me to build a machine that should travel through a wormhole.
Yes!
You mentioned where my audio would work.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me?
I know that this is not going to work. Basically, just maybe I'll try to come in again or something, but just largely ignore me if it's not.
All right.
Hold on, 1 second. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. I'm sending Jared a message over the group chat since we can hear him.
Okay, I'll text him with telekinesis.
I muted my mic.
What? You muted your mic? We can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Get my opinion. Sure. Yeah, I can do that real quick. I enjoyed it. And Kyle Shanahan. That's rough, Kyle Shanahan.
Time out! No, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, he didn't take his timeouts. Take his timeouts at the
No.
end of the
There
first
we go.
half.
There we go.
Okay.
That was a mistake. So he was already making mistakes there. And yeah, second half, people in Georgia are very familiar with this, with the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I had already been off of the Falcons train for years before that. So I didn't have to experience that disappointment, thankfully. But I don't know. The Chiefs, good for Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Mahomes could have a long career of Super Bowl wins ahead of him. Although, Aaron Rodgers won one, and who would have thought like that would have been the only one that Aaron Rodgers would have to this point. So you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I didn't really watch a lot of the commercials. The ones that I saw weren't really that good.
There were a couple good ones.
It's got a lot of attention afterwards, but I thought it was good. But it just didn't. Not caring about the teams, it just didn't stand out to me that much. Other than the fact that I was glad that it was close down to the end, and I was glad on Jimmy G and 49ers at the end to have to try to pass to win the game. I found that pretty entertaining.
I can barely hear him.
Yeah, I know. All right, but I think we got it. Good? Thank you. Perfect.
All right, so now I'll let the Emmanuel Sanders catch. I don't know. Or the Emmanuel Sanders miss.
Yeah, that is true.
Emmanuel Sanders missed it?
Remember the bomb, the deep throw that he threw that
I must have missed
Garoppolo
that.
overthrew him.
I didn't know what's being said. So
That one.
see if I can keep working on my audio.
All right. Sounds good.
It's too bad that it's delayed on YouTube. Otherwise, I could just watch the YouTube broadcast.
Yeah, that is true.
I would be a little bit behind on everything.
Wait, Judah Buddha, are you talking?
See if
No.
I can figure something
Okay. You scared me.
out. Have fun with
Okay. Oh, so
Oh, wow.
that does beg a question, though. Do you think that the reason for them losing, do you think the 49ers losing, do you think it's more the Chiefs defense stepping up or the Niners just eventually not doing enough at the end of the game?
It's hard to tell. I think, look, it seemed like there was something strange about the 49ers time management. It felt like they had all the time in the world. It felt like the Chiefs had all the time in the world, whereas, you know what I think it was? I think it was the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the Chiefs and the 49ers, everybody talks about the Chiefs' offense and the 49ers the Chiefs, offense and the 49ers defense. But I think what really won, and this is what the Chiefs often do, is they'll give up a lot of points at the beginning, as we've seen, and they'll kind of figure it out as they go. And it seems a lot of their success comes from figuring out how to stop the run game. And man, they let Mostert get a couple runs, and that's it. They figured out how to stop the dude.
Which was really funny because the week before the Super Bowl, Bleacher Report. So they have like this mini series online called Gridiron Heights, and they made a joke about Kyle Shanahan, and he was just like, "Now that we have the lead, just run it." He just told that to Jimmy Garoppolo, and the Chiefs completely shut down the 49ers in the third quarter. And I mean, they had a 5-play drive and they had the 3 and out. And then in between those two, the Chiefs took the lead. And then, of course, they turned it over on downs. Chiefs got the ball immediately afterwards. It was a crazy set of events. It was crazy.
It really was. And I mean, when you have as good a rush as the Chiefs do, and as smart a defensive coordinator as the Chiefs do.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not have the personnel, but they have great personnel. I think, looking back, I think people are going to be like, wait a minute. Oh, they were a super team,
Yeah.
Like
honestly.
they have the best tight end, the best wide receiver, the best quarterback.
Yeah.
They have the best,
arguably one of the best coaches in the league, one of the best coaches for sure.
Yeah, and on defense, one of the best rushers, one of the best safeties. Like they're a stacked team.
Yeah.
And the 49ers they're not the best. That's all. They're just really good at every level. They're really good, but they just didn't have that extra
oomph to get them across. Yeah.
That's just my takeaway. Now I think you run this game through 50 simulations, 25 go for 49ers.
Wow, you really think it's that even of a split?
With a little tweaks in the fourth, all they had to do was tweak a few things in the fourth quarter, slow down the clock, be a little smarter, do a little trickery. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
We're good.
I can finally hear you.
What'd you do?
It was in my settings of like somehow it had stayed on like my AirPods or something like that, even though they're
strange.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were just talking about how I think the real winner in this game was actually the Chiefs' defense, contrary to what people might have expected. Their offense did just enough, but their defense was able to shut down the run, and that was huge.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Both offenses or both defenses, played pretty well. And the Chiefs offense was just, more consistent, which is why I thought they'd be able to win. But at the same time, like I doubted myself because I'm just normally bad about game predictions. So, yeah, but you're right. They did do well. But San Francisco at the same time has I don't know. It's like every Chiefs game of the postseason where the defense doesn't play all that well in the first half. I mean, they played well enough, and the offense, well, neither one of them really do. And then they come on in the second half. So I don't know, that was enough.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest things, if you guys noticed, that whenever they scored a touchdown, they had like the little like hand-drawn characters of the players like in the bottom corner that I thought was really cool. And you look and they had the Mahomes one, they had the Damian Williams one, but the first person to score a touchdown was Kyle Juszczyk. And that was awesome.
So what's funny?
So much fun.
What's funny about that is I listen to a lot of like betting podcasts and guys that are into betting, and many of them were on the Kyle Juszczyk train. And one of my favorites, Pat Mayo, he was really skeptical. He was like, "Listen, if all of you guys are betting for Juszczyk, you know that the 49ers are going to be ready. They're going to be thinking the same thing." But he didn't have a lot of yards. I think the over on his yards didn't hit, but he scored like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, it sucked for the Mahomes prop bet because
yes, I know he kept kneeling.
He kept kneeling for massive losses. And so, I mean, he went from like 44, 45 yards to like 28, 29 or something like that, because he was just taking such huge kneel downs, And that's one thing I like about Yahoo Fantasy, the week to week game, is that they only take away a yard per kneel down, even if the quarterback goes back like 7 yards.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I found that out like during the season, where I was thinking I had just a slim lead, and I was thinking like, oh, this he's gonna kneel down, he's gonna go back 3 yards every time, and I'm gonna lose almost a full point. But even though he kept going back like 3 yards, they only docked it like 0.1.
Interesting. Funny thing, I actually heard that like the over-under for Vegas, I think, was something like 51.5, I think, for the Chiefs 49ers game.
Yeah.
And since it ended at 51, if it had just been 1 point more, they would have been in big trouble at that point.
Yeah, it's funny. See, this was the other thing that Pat was talking about. He was saying everybody always goes for the over. It's just natural for people to want it to be a high scoring game. It's just natural for people to like just expect and hope for a lot of points. And he was saying, I'm hitting the under because nobody's going for it. And it was like, I think it was like 20-1 for the under.
Wow.
Because everybody expected it to be this huge, because what everybody said was, we think the Chiefs are going to win. And even if, what would they say? If the Chiefs win, just to keep up, the 49ers are going to have to throw like crazy.
Right.
And at halftime, everybody's thinking, oh, see, that's the thing is like, can you guys explain to me? I'm not very good with the football. What could, like, just technically, what could the 49ers have done to slow down the ball more? I'm talking about trickery. Like, I'm talking about, how, like, the Titans would take the extra penalty just to burn down the clock. Isn't there, like, it just seemed like there wasn't enough trickery from the 49ers where they could just eat time away. Like, aren't there ways?
Well, I didn't really pay close enough attention to this game to really know, but I know in the Falcons Super Bowl where they blew the 28-3 lead with Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator, it gave you insight, like his comments afterwards gave you insight into his mindset and how, for however brilliant of a coordinator he is, he's, in some ways kind of almost so smart that he's stupid. If that makes any sense, where he said after the game, like they were asking him like why they didn't, run the ball more and just kick the field goal. He said something to the effect of, the object is to score the most points you can or something like that. To which I would say, no, it isn't.
What?
The object is to win the football game. And so if that means taking a safety in your end zone, that's what you do. And so that was like a really telling quote from him. And so I don't know if he maybe just didn't learn his lesson from that. I think it's a little bit more complicated with that for this game, because I think they said that Jimmy G in the fourth quarter was like 3 for 11 passing. And so, I think the Chiefs were, just trying to focus more on stopping the run and trying to force him to pass, and he just wasn't getting the job done. So I don't want to lay it all on Shanahan, but at least at that time, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, he like had like a really basic failure of understanding, like you just do whatever gives you the highest probability to win the game. Like it doesn't matter if so I don't know. It's hard to say like if he just didn't learn his lesson from that, or he had made some adjustments but they just couldn't execute it or what. But Man, I don't know. That's again just going back to him having the two biggest blown leads in Super Bowl history. Which I mean, I know he wasn't head coach for one of them, but he, ultimately that one was kind of still on him too with the Falcons.
I know this is just, amateur opinion. Obviously, I'm just a teenager on YouTube, so what do I know? But I felt like the 49ers ran a very basic offense. Like, it's really simple: run the ball, short passes, move the ball forward, take the field goal if you need to, try to get in the end zone, etc. See, especially when they mixed it up, gave a couple tosses to Deebo Samuel, it worked. He rushed for 53 yards on 3 end-around carries. And yet, still, it almost like it also backfires because they never took any risks. Like, I would say most of the passes were just short, 5, 10, maybe 15. The 1 or 2 deep shots that they took, of course, the overthrown ball to Emmanuel Sanders, Garoppolo later getting hit, throwing the pick near the end of the game. But still, it was just it seemed really, really simple. There was no trickery. Like with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes can extend plays. You've got Williams coming out of the backfield. It's like, even with the Ravens, if we look at the Ravens too, we look at Baltimore, you can run it, you can throw it, you can do anything. And the 49ers, like Judah Buddha, like you were saying earlier, they are really solid at everything, but it just seems very basic. They're going to either beat you with the run or they'll beat you with a bunch of passes.
No, well, that's not – I mean, I take a little exception to that because they do have some extremely trickery – well, not tricky. They have some complex plays when it comes down to the. I mean, the plays where Juszczyk got in the end zone, those were just. I mean, I
but
feel
where did
like
that go second half though?
Well,
like all of that just disappeared. Like they've shown proof they have it. Like with Juszczyk, Deebo Samuel running it, but then after that, it just disappeared from existence.
I wonder if that goes to what Jared is talking about is kind of like maybe a little bit of a Boy Scout tendency in Kyle Shanahan to want to do it the right way, Whereas me, I've got way more like Loki in me. I'd be like, let's get this in the back way. Come on now, let's deflate those balls.
Is that how Loki talks?
Yeah, why do I always go?
That would be like the single worst Loki impression that I have. alternate universe where
I wasn't trying to be Loki. Though.
Loki gets banished from Asgard and raised on like the Louisiana-Mississippi borders.
Let's get it.
Goodness. That does kind of remind me of something that immediately after the Super, like the most excited I probably personally got during the Super Bowl was seeing the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. I'm sorry to every Chiefs and 49ers fan out there.
That was the best part of it.
That was the best part.
Really? I'm kind of done with Marvel. I'll be honest with you guys.
That's sad.
I've had enough of Marvel and Disney and all that.
Try watching the Arrowverse, and you will be so thankful for Marvel.
The Arrowverse?
It's painful.
Is that the one where they had in the Infinite Universe?
Crisis
Universe?
Yes.
That looked kind of cool.
It's so much. Like I've gotten through 4. I know this is completely off topic. 4 seasons of Arrow, 2 seasons of Flash, a season of Supergirl, and a season of Legends of Tomorrow, and I still have 400 episodes to go.
I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I watched Smallville.
It's too much.
When Smallville was on, I watched Smallville. Yeah. And then I just couldn't do. But Smallville like had its own Green Arrow, and then when they launched the CW Green Arrow, I'm like, I was already kind of invested in this character. I don't really want to start like a new origin story for this.
Here's the play. You got to go through Smallville and just go straight to this season's whatever. Was it Arrow?
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
It's Arrow, isn't it?
It's combined with all of them. Like it'll be Batwoman.
That's the play. You don't watch all the Flash and all that like Green Arrow, Supergirl.
No.
We tried watching Supergirl. Like,
watch season 1 and 2 of Arrow. Watch season 1 and 1 of Flash.
No,
maybe
I
2.
couldn't get through Arrow. It's just too cheese. I'm like, no.
I watched.
Very good.
Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I heard someone describe. I remember I was thinking like all of the episodes are just starting to get really similar as I got down the line, and I heard this one person say the Arrowverse is just. I was watching a YouTube review, and it was like the Arrowverse is just a superhero soap opera, and it immediately just hit me as like that's
true. kind of
CW.
all CW shows. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I kind of have a mild interest in seeing the new Superman series because they're spinning off that Tyler Hoechlin or whatever his name, the guy who plays Superman on Supergirl.
Okay.
Because I did see, like, I've seen like maybe 3 episodes of Supergirl, and one of them was his introduction because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm curious to see what this Superman looks like, and I liked his Superman pretty well. Yeah. So I'm kind of mildly interested in it, but at the same time, like I know it's just going to be like CW soap opera. So
So no, be thankful that I remember I was just thinking about this. I was telling my friend that we're in the dark times of no Marvel for months, and then I just thought about it. But that's what makes it better when it finally does come.
When let's see, when was it? Captain America Civil War came out.
Yeah.
Judah, I was talking to Steven Sandridge, and I was like, after watching that movie, I said, you know what I would really go for is a Falcon and Winter Soldier team up. and that was all the way back during Civil War. Like I just liked the play between the two of those characters. Yeah. And that was all the way back then. And so I can't remember if that was like 2016, 17,
16, I think.
Yeah. And so when they announced that, I'm like, oh yes, this I'm in for this, because they're kind of those two characters that, like each other sort of, but they kind of hate each other. They get on each other's nerves too. So I'm down for that one. And I'm down for
Loki.
I'm down for the Scarlet Witch series.
WandaVision, which is the worst name.
I'm down for this form of storytelling. On Disney Plus, shorter things. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of I feel what you're saying here, Judah. Like, especially like with Endgame and wrapping it up. Like give me some like shorter, more condensed stories, smaller stories,
side stories
in a series where it's not like we have to save the galaxy.
Well, I will say that them doing this sort of as a side, doing it on, I guess they're going to do it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So I'm done with Disney Plus, but until the next,
let's get it for Clone Wars.
Until Mandalorian 2 comes out. But Mandalorian did give me hope in the ability to continue stories on TV. And somebody said, maybe it was Joseph Rhodes, or somebody said the other day on Facebook that it was Joseph Rhodes. He said put some article up, a petition to make the next He-Man not a movie, but a series on Netflix or something like that.
Yes.
That's probably way better than trying to wrap it up in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think just with movies nowadays, especially with anything, I mean, Marvel, I've been impressed with what Marvel's been able to do with on the screen and deliver stuff that's pretty satisfying, I think, for most people. But in general, like, I think it's tough for them to sort of thread that needle of like making a good story, but also for like global audiences that's going to make back the hundreds of millions of dollars that's been spent on it. I would much rather see them do it in this format. Yeah, I think it just takes some pressure off, and gives them just a little bit more freedom to do stuff that's like more faithful to the source material stuff. I mean, of course, I'm going off of a lot of Mandalorian on that. We really only have kind of one example on that. But I mean, if you look at like some of the other stuff, like Cobra Kai, I don't know if either of you have watched Cobra Kai.
I want to, but YouTube. No YouTube Red.
Well, no, it's free now. It's free now. They changed it. They changed it. Yeah. So they're changing it to where I think this has already happened. They're changing it to where it's going to be free, but with ads, or you can still pay for YouTube Red and have it ad free. But you can, I think now both of the first 2 seasons of Cobra Kai are available with ads, I think.
And so you would give it 2 thumbs up?
I love it. Yeah. And Steven, again, going back to Steven Sandridge, same way. And like we went in like, oh my gosh, this is going to be garbage. This is going to be terrible. And then the reviews started coming out, and like the reviews were really good. And I'm like, still like kind of like
on the edge,
peeking in, like afraid you're going to get poked in the eye. And no, it's good. Like it is way better than it has any right to be. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Man. So like with examples like that, with like Cobra Kai, with Mandalorian, Picard has been solid through.
I can't watch these if they're not on Netflix. I'm just like done trying.
There are too many subscription services.
All these different subscriptions. I'm like,
there are, and that was. I remember when Netflix first came out, I was talking to somebody and I said, this is great right now because it gives people, one streaming service for all the people who want to cut the cord, and you have all these channels and all these unnecessary expenses. And I said, and then what's going to happen is everybody's going to develop their own streaming service, and we're going to go right back to the same problem that we had with, with television. So,
well, Disney's got a problem. Everybody is doing what I did. You get the subscription long enough to watch The Mandalorian, and then you just shut it off.
Well, at the same time, Disney actually knows they're going to lose money for 5 years off of Disney Plus, and they're still going to keep it going because they're just planning to run Netflix into the ground.
I don't think they're going to beat Netflix, though.
Netflix, here's the problem with Netflix is with all these other services, they have like cornerstone IPs. Disney's got a ton. CBS at least has Star Trek. Netflix, Stranger Things is going to go for
the kids maybe are going to get older sometime.
They're going to go for maybe another season, and then how much do you have left after that?
Yeah, but they have. The thing is that like. I think America, our society is getting tired of these old rerun, like trying to rehash these old franchises. I think I'm refreshed by these new stories coming out of Netflix. Like I couldn't believe, what did we watch the other day? The
Taylor Swift Americana.
Yeah, get out of here.
No.
Get out of here, boy.
You left too long of a pause in there. I was giving you a second to see if you got it out, and then you didn't, and then I just had to like make you pay for it there.
I'm gonna go back to Loki. Get out of here, boy. No.
Yeah. Again, no, he didn't grow up in the hood
don't
either.
Ever say that again.
No, Lost in Space, man.
I still haven't seen it yet.
I cannot get the second season started really slow, and we almost gave up on it. And they're like, let's give it oh man, dude. By the end of it, we finished watching it over the weekend, and I am still thinking about it, the thing about it is that there is just such good graphics. Like I'm still going back and trying to think, like, could that have really been a green screen?
So I think I'm trying to remember now. I think I don't remember if I saw all of the first season or part of the first season, but is it way better than the first season? Because the first season I was just kind of like, this is all right, but Lost in Space, I mean.
I loved the first season. So I don't know.
Did you love the second one more?
I think so, by the end. Now, it starts slow. You start slow.
Slow doesn't bother me. Slow doesn't bother me. Slow doesn't bother me. Just like nonsensical crap bothers me.
See, nonsensical stuff doesn't bother me.
Oh, I know.
The pause completely sold that reaction.
I'm going to go back to Loki. What y'all talking about?
Oh, my goodness. Please stop.
This is an episode of football / Marvel / streaming /
We're just turning this into a variety show
/ the worst impressions ever. Like you.
No, Loki. Heidi die. That was the best show I've ever seen.
That was the closest one, I think, so far out of the
It's still not that close.
And it's still terrible. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I mean, maybe Netflix still does okay, but I think it's going to be their stocks are going to suffer.
And they're in so much debt right now. They're in so much debt. That if anything,
they always have been that. They always.
But they're digging themselves deeper and deeper into a hole, and it keeps going down. Eventually, something's going to hit.
I don't understand how any of these services actually make money. Like especially Disney. Like how are they making money?
Oh no, they're running at a loss for a while.
But I mean, how do they expect to make money? It's almost like they're digging their grave. Like they're giving this stuff out for free.
I honestly don't know.
What's the end game here?
No idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know, especially with Disney. But I mean, even with like Netflix, they were pumping in such insane amounts of money to content creation. Mm-hmm. They couldn't have been making anything close to that.
No, they are. They're like AJ said, they're way behind.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But the thing is when you say that though, it's a little misleading because they are. I mean, their stock is pretty high right now, and so if the money, if the company itself is running a loss, that's not that big of a deal. You know, they can.
It will be eventually, though.
No, why?
It's just going to be too much with not only the debt but the competition as well.
Well, okay, the competition.
It's going to be overwhelming.
Well, what will happen is they'll run out of money to keep up with competition if they can't figure out. You're right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a bad sign that they paid D&D from Game of Thrones as much money as they did. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of reeks of desperation. Especially because I think it happened after the finale of Game of Thrones. So like you had the opportunity to see what happened.
But didn't they fire him?
No, that was Disney. Disney had quote unquote hired them to make a Star Wars show.
Yeah, they got fired from Star Wars.
Oh yeah, but so what did they get hired for?
To do like original content on Netflix, which is
what
original content.
Nobody
just
knows.
like
they just gave him $250 million and said make something for us.
Yeah, for the guys who flopped as soon as they ran out of source material.
But $250 is not that much. $250 million is not that much. When it comes, like a movie nowadays costs like at least $350 for a good one.
Yeah, but that's just
Disney. That's Disney money.
And that's not even like that's no production cost. That's just their fee to write stuff, and then on top of that, all the stuff that all the production costs.
You're right.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. See, after all of this, the one streaming service that will be left standing is going to be Amazon Prime for the sole reason that no one wants to give up their free 2-day shipping. That will be the only one left.
No, that's true. That's true. And I forget about Amazon. Like I forget to go watch stuff on there. Speaking of though, I got to double check this number first, but just like in terms of insane deals, crap. Of course it's not just like giving me the number.
This is why you're looking for that. This is what we should do, guys. We should. So by the way, AJ, how do I explain this? Jared and I have been on a podcast together for a while, a couple times, many times for what I started a podcast called Reverse Redaction. Now we're
I heard about that. We've
been on hiatus for
a long
time.
That was Jared?
That was Ford and Jared came in. He rescued it for a while because Ford
sucks.
What?
No, I don't know where that came from.
Fired. Shots fired.
Ford is off and on, and you know, Jared, as you know, he's the absolute stud. So he came in and studied.
I took all my fantasy skills and I just ported them over to talking movies. So
That's nice.
So like we should restart that.
Start at Oscar season.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I miss doing those.
I do too. I just can't do
Fantasy.
it's just fantasy, you know, and like basically the reason we went on hiatus from Reverse Redactions because we did this podcast. I can't do a million podcasts.
But didn't you also just start another one?
I did. How'd you know?
I think you said something about it.
You want to go ahead and plug it for us?
No, because it hasn't started yet.
Okay.
But with my good friend Joseph Rhodes, I actually mentioned him earlier. We're doing a comedy one.
Nice.
I'm a little bit of a podcast addict, guys. I need help.
At least you keep going with them, though. Like it would be bad. Like if you just, I mean, even though you put Reverse Redaction on,
I did put
It's
it
on
hiatus.
hiatus. It's on hiatus.
Yeah, at least you weren't like, sorry guys, I got to dip out to go do a comedy one, and also I'm hanging a lantern on that in case you were having any thoughts of that, you know. So can be publicly shamed.
Well, listen, I'm done with football for a while, so if you guys want to continue doing football until the draft, like this is my goodbye for this podcast.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
No,
I'm
dude,
hanging a lantern on that. Like that's just what are we gonna? Well, okay. Well, unless there's something that goes on with XFL, that was why I brought it up to you, Jared, because AJ said he got some kind of he got some kind of link.
Yeah, I did some research and I found a website that does XFL fantasy, and out of pure morbid curiosity, I decided to start one. I don't even know if I'm going to pay attention that much to it. I'm just doing it out of morbid curiosity just to draft Aaron Murray.
I don't even know who Aaron Murray is.
Okay. Well, I'm a Georgia fan. He was a Georgia quarterback.
Who's Georgia?
I know who Aaron Murray is. At least that would be one of the few that I would know. But I can't. I just can't. You know what I am going to do though is I think Yahoo's stuff or Yahoo's fantasy football opens for the next season, like right after the draft.
Are you serious?
I think so. And so I think you can draft a team at like end of April, 1st of May, like as soon as the actual draft picks have been made, because free agency is mostly over then, except for maybe, you know, a handful of guys out there.
You know what the move is? The pro move. I haven't been able to bring myself to do it because I'm usually shut down till the draft. But if you do, they have a bunch of. They've always had. I think you can find them all over the draft app and stuff. But of course, it's leaving my head. What is it where you draft and all your players? You don't have to worry about it the rest of the season. It's like. I can't remember, but it's the fantasy leagues where you draft a bunch of players and then they just put the highest scoring ones in. And so what a lot of the pros will do is they will go in and you can get whoever you can get a lot of the prospects before the draft who you know are going to go high in the draft, are going to be viable NFL players. You put them in and just hope that they get drafted by the right team, but you get them for so cheap because everybody's like, I don't know. They're kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Interesting.
You can get really good players. So like this year, so many people. I was what is it called? I can't remember, but so many people got Josh Jacobs. You know, like in round 10 or 11 because nobody's thinking about Josh Jacobs in February.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like knowing what situation they're going to be in. But yeah, I think you can like in April. And so what I might do is just like draft one, it'd probably be like a $50 team, or who knows? I might go ahead and do $100 team. Like a lot of times, my teams that I draft early do some of the best.
Yeah, me too.
Before guys. Before all of the expert picks are out there and people are on to somebody in, taking them earlier than what they would without the, quote unquote experts telling them to. So I'm probably going to do that. Maybe I'll, can come on here and like live stream my draft or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, this is one thing we are going to do next year is you guys have to do it. I guess unless you want to chicken out, but we're going to have a RotoHackers Listeners League where me, you, and you are in it, and whoever our listeners can join in the league.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm all for that.
It makes it interesting. I've seen some of my favorite podcasters will do that, and it's like then they get into these like trying to trade with while they're on the podcast and not wanting to say something.
Yeah, that kind of makes things more awkward of like, who would you start this week? And if you're up against that guy, like, well, I would definitely start that Eagles 6th string wide receiver. I think he's going to have a big game. So
ignore the fact that he had 5 drops last week. I'm sure he'll have a breakout game.
Yeah, right. So that would make things kind of awkward, but
it's fun though.
But yeah. So I don't think I'll do XFL. I just don't. I need a break from it of some kind. And plus, I have a couple of basketball teams. So
you're crazy, dude. Have you been doing okay?
So I did three basketball teams, but like low money, like a couple of $20 leagues and a $50 league, because this was the first time that I'd done basketball in, gosh, I don't even know, 10 years, 15 years. I don't know how long. And so one of them, the first one I drafted is terrible. It's like in last place.
Yeah.
The second one I drafted is in the middle of the pack. And then the third one I drafted is like in second place.
Didn't you accidentally drop somebody, like pocket drop somebody?
I pocket dropped on my best team. I pocket dropped Jamal Murray, who was like my 5th round pick. And that was it ended up not being that bad because I mean he's been okay, but he hasn't just been like a star. So I'm probably going to take second place in that league, but it's been like I just didn't put that much into it this season because I just needed to get back familiarizing myself with it again, with the players. And the NBA's changed a lot too since the last time that I played fantasy basketball, because, used to guys before, played 81, 82 game seasons, and hardly anybody plays that kind of season anymore. Guys are just constantly injured. They're constantly getting off days.
I mean, that's why I can't do it. I tried.
I'm getting frustrated. Yeah.
And it's like every day you gotta be watching and switching in. I'm like, no, this is everything I hate about fantasy to the extreme.
Yes. It amazes me. It's like guys are healthier in the NFL than they are in the NBA.
Well, it's because they play all the time. But it's true though that I do think that was a big surprise to me how often they get hurt. I was like, I don't remember when did basketball become so rough? When did people like breaking ankles all the time now?
I blame Shaq for breaking the backboards. That started everything on a downhill trend.
I did hear someone did speak on the fact that the quality of the shoes are actually hurting people in football and basketball because the weakness before, when shoes were terrible, there was more bodily control, whereas now the shoes are going to stop when you are not ready to stop. Your body's not ready. They're so good, they're stopping better than your muscles can anticipate. I don't know. It was a long shot, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, either way, it is extremely frustrating. Like, I tried to draft players too that are typically healthy, and I thought like, oh yeah, they'll get me 75 games or stuff like that, and just everybody's hurt and missing games. It's very frustrating. It's more frustrating than I thought it would be. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll get back with that again. I don't know if I'll do a baseball league.
Baseball.
No, don't, Jared. Don't.
Hey, man.
Don't do it, Jared.
I don't know.
Give yourself a break.
Especially if I'm gonna do. Especially if I'm going to go ahead and draft a football team like at the end of April, 1st of May, I might not want to do baseball. But
it's
much. when you guys are like, see, I usually don't. AJ, don't we usually take a break like right before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we would. Or no, we would do the Super Bowl sometimes, just like review it a little bit. Because what we would do, I think we would combine that and like our free agency and everything into one, and then we'd like not do anything until draft prediction.
I usually don't do anything. I just usually, now this year hasn't been so bad, I'll be honest. But usually I get done with fantasy and I just delete everything off my phone. Delete. Bleacher Report gone. Yahoo Sports gone. Everything's gone, and I just completely forget football for like 3 months, and then I start getting the bug right around the draft. I'm like, where's that draft? Give me some more of that draft. I need that draft. That was Loki.
Yeah, perfect impression.
Yeah, maybe Loki's like forbidden cousin from the
No. It's his friend, Low Key. You know what I'm saying? Low Key.
I'm even your age, and I'm embarrassed by that
bad joke. I actually like that one. That one's even funny to me now, looking back on it.
Is it really though? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, low key it is.
Well, but the thing is though, like I don't know. The thing I wonder is like with YouTube, if you want to keep trying to build an audience, I mean, your subscribers are probably not going to unsubscribe, but like if you go months without podcasting, does that hurt you in terms of like
create a Discord?
We don't post these to audio anymore. We used to. They
go to YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's what I said is YouTube. Like does it hurt you in terms of like your likelihood of
I mean, it really depends. No, I don't think so. Like the thing is a lot of people do the same as I do and shut down, don't do any football. Like notice we don't have any viewers right now. Yeah, one of them's me.
Oh,
one of them's you.
What? Yeah.
But like, nobody's commenting right now. It's just like, football is so seasonal. It really is.
Which is honestly kind of nice, though.
It is. I mean, it is. It's so
intense.
It's
like binge watching a TV show whenever it comes out. You just get your fill of it and then take a break.
So, like, when I listen to podcasts, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the ones that keep doing it, but just like, I don't listen during the season, I'm listening to minimum 10 podcasts a week.
Wow.
But I keep seeing them coming up in my feed, and I'm like, because one of my favorites is CBS Eye on Fantasy Football.
Interesting.
I love those guys, but I keep seeing them coming up in my feed, and I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah,
I don't for me.
Yeah, I don't right now because there's really nothing. There's not much you can really talk about right now. I mean, that's why our stuff just like detours into Marvel and stuff like that, because
I don't have a problem with that, but
right. I mean, but we don't know anything. Like nothing's changed in terms of free agency yet. Really, nothing's changed. You don't know anything in terms of the draft, and so once you kind of project, where you think guys are going to be, which we could have done that. Yeah. Is kind of like give what your top 20 or 30 or whatever for next season. Like
Way
once
too
you
early
do,
predictions.
yeah, you're way too early predictions. Actually, I think I just got one of those from CBS today. Once you kind of do that at the start of the off season, after that, like, I mean, nothing's going to change a week after that or 2 weeks after that. You
And
know,
see,
it's going to.
we have months to do that. We have months. I mean, we could do that all the way up until August.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. There's going to be a lot of
Free agency.
I think free agency is going to be a lot more important, as it seems like every year there's more weirder things going on. Trading and free agency and stuff. What have you.
So do we want to take a break with this until draft time? Like,
I think Judas said he is taking a break.
yeah, I'm just
peacing
saying,
out.
like, officially until around draft day, sometime around then.
I mean, I could come back. I mean, I can keep doing it. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe we could just sort of plan on that, but have like maybe if free agency is really interesting, we could just pop in for like one in
A month or something.
Yeah, a month or something like that, to talk about the signings, if there have been big signings or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, do one before the draft of where we think guys are going to go. Yeah, I'm fine with largely just like hanging it up, but I think there might be, an opportunity to do like one, a month or every 6 weeks or something
cool
like
with
that
that.
between now and then. And it's not even something that we have to say like, oh, we want to do one a month from now, but just like if some interesting stuff happens at some point,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I just like the only reason I'm here right now is because I'm thinking like, oh, we could talk about the Super Bowl and I miss you guys, like, but I was thinking like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I haven't thought about football other than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even during the Super Bowl, I mean, kind of like you, Jared. I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't. There's such a difference between being a casual viewer of the game and being a fantasy football player. It's like I wasn't watching it thinking about stats or anything. I'm just like, hey, Mahomes look good, and
Yeah.
Loki.
It does. It changes things so dramatically. If it's not a team that you have fantasy players on, or if it's not a team that you're a fan of, then it's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, because it's funny. It's funny where I was thinking about, there was a Texans Bengals game that was like on Thanksgiving 2 or 3 years ago.
That's rough.
And it was like 6-3 or 3-0 at halftime or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
But I had fantasy players in it. And I was like more invested in that game than I was in the Super Bowl,
Well, it's stakes, and
Yeah.
Stakes are important. And fantasy stakes are so much more visceral than just fandom itself, because a lot of times we'll have money, we'll have our opinions on the line,
Pride.
Whereas, I mean, you have pride on the line when you're rooting for your own team. But
No,
you're
but
right,
I mean, like,
it's
if
more
you're
focused, yeah.
But if you're like in a league,
Yeah,
with, like,
you're right.
with
You're
friends or whatever, yeah.
It's specific pride that is more than just like, that's my team. Loki would say, that's my team. And he didn't say that?
Nope. I don't know what you're quoting, but it ain't him.
Endgame? No? Okay.
Well, that was a fun identity crisis.
I'm trying to kill the pot, guys.
So are we doing RotoHackers? Or not RotoHackers?
Reverse
redaction. I got
I'm
too many
game for
too many R's.
cool.
Too many R's there.
Yeah.
So when would we do it? Would we do it in this slot or what?
I think we should do it Saturday morning. I don't like doing this a lot. I have to be honest with you.
There's no more college football Saturday mornings, so
when there's no football, like I don't have like I guess when there was football, like Tuesdays for football. Like actually Thursdays.
That's actually the one day that there's not football.
There is when you're in fantasy, man. That's the waiver wire.
The waiver wire stuff.
I had Thursdays. Thursdays just more like you're watching the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you make Friday is kind of a big fantasy football day for me because you kind of have to adjust based on what happened Thursday. Saturday's usually kind of a break. And then Sunday, obviously, that's no break.
You skipped Friday.
I said Friday. Friday, you got to adjust to Thursday. What happened? And then Monday, you kind of get to breathe. And then Tuesday, it's like back in the grind. That's why I liked doing the pod on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
But now it just doesn't make sense. I'm like, what? We got a podcast today? What day is it? I actually got that happened to me today. I put everything in a Google Calendar. And I got a notification. It was like, you have a podcast in an hour. I was like, what day?
There was a time in my life, I guess, especially when I was freelancing, like when I had gone back to school and I had left my full-time sports editor job. But I was doing freelance stuff and I was shooting photos for someone or for, freelance pay to where I was shooting freelance junior varsity games for a big program, for a big high school program, but it was still JV on Thursday, covering varsity games on Friday. I was watching college football games on Saturday. I was watching NFL games on Sunday, and Monday I was doing waiver wire fantasy on Tuesday. Like Wednesday was the only. Wednesday was like the only kind of sort of day where I didn't have any kind of football involved.
That was your best year for fantasy, though, wasn't it? Didn't you? That was like your biggest pay.
Probably would have been about that time. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that was just kind of coincidental, timing wise. But, that was
a lot.
That's a lot of football.
Yeah,
that is too much football.
Too much.
4 days a week or so is enough. Is enough football. Like Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for me, since I'm out of that business. So.
Well, I'm game. Can we take a couple weeks off and then because my wife keeps begging me to she's like, when does this end? I mean, that's part of it for me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Judith.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. She's thought she keeps saying football's over. Why are you still doing that?
You haven't spoken to your children in a month.
I'm like, wait, what are their names?
PEMDAS and Macron.
He just screams at his children. He's like, if you're not Christian McCaffrey, you don't matter.
We'll replace you with Derrick Henry. We'll do it.
Christian McCaffrey gave me 32 touchdowns. What did you ever do to me? What did you give me this year? Anyways, so I gotta go, but let's take a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
And then regroup. I say we hit reverse redaction really hard. Now the thing is, though, AJ, there will be some movies that some things we have to.
I'll just take I'll be in segments or something. I won't have to be in the whole thing.
Well, I mean,
we when we do something, we do just like the whole episode on one movie. So
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
So we'll have to think. There'll be an approach. There'll definitely be an approach. But I have been wanting to sort of, and we got to get Sanders. I want to call him Sanderson. No, Steven Sandridge. We got to get Sandridge in, and it's funny. I was like, "Hey, Steve, want to be part of reverse redaction?" He's like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Okay, we're going on hiatus."
That is true. You did do that. Yeah.
I didn't do it on purpose. I thought we were gonna keep going. I don't know. So I mean, there you go. But no, let's start reverse redaction again. We'll start with See,
Sonic the Hedgehog. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm a big Sonic fan. No,
When is it? Is it coming out?
February
Oh, that's right. It is coming.
13th is opening night.
Oh man.
Maybe. Maybe. What is the next big, like, blockbuster, like PG-13 blockbuster?
There's not really much.
It's funny. This is the first like spring. I'm not looking.
I mean,
forward
they've
to.
got the Oscars, but other than that, there's like
Okay. But see, you haven't seen any of the movies for the Oscars. I guarantee.
that is not true.
Which one?
Endgame got nominated for special effects, and I will tell you everything about animated feature of the year. That is my forte.
What are the animated ones?
You got I Lost My Body, you got How to Train Your Dragon 3, you've got Klaus, you got Toy Story 4, and then you've got Missing Link.
Klaus.
Because
my
thank
vote is Klaus.
God Frozen 2 didn't get nominated. It did not.
My kids said it was worse than the first.
Anyways, we're good.
I gotta go. I think it's a good idea. Maybe around the Oscars.
We'll
when
figure
do
it
the Oscars come out? When do the Oscars come out?
This weekend or Monday. Or whatever. What's February 9th?
He's like, all right, never mind what I was saying about.
I mean, have either of you guys seen any of the movies that are in the Oscars? Are Oscar contenders?
Yes.
Which ones?
For Best Picture, you mean?
For any of the major categories.
Oh, what about is Joker nominated?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I mean, I've seen Joker. I've seen 1917. What's that? 19...
Oh, yeah, I want to see that one.
I saw that one. What's the main one? What's the main one getting all
Best
the
Picture?
buzz? Yeah.
It's a couple of them. There's a couple. There's
one that everybody's talking about.
I'm looking at it now. Oh yeah, I do want to see this one. Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, I do want to see that one.
I still need to get around to seeing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I saw that. I want to see Jojo the Rabbit.
Yes, I want to see that so bad.
Is that appropriate? What is that rated?
PG-13. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a dark comedy. I think.
All right. If we can see Jojo, if all of us can see Jojo the Rabbit before this weekend,
Excuse me, it's Jojo Rabbit, not Jojo the Rabbit.
You know what? That's not what Loki would say.
Right. Not what your Loki would say.
Loki, that's what I would say.
I think we might be done. I think we might be done for tonight. Am I wrong?
I don't know. This is like a high speed like drag race car that wrecked, and it was going so fast that it's just kept flipping, and it's just like it's slowed down. Like now it's slowed down to the point, and there's still just pieces flying off, and we're just waiting. There's like a hubcap just spinning.
See,
like Judas.
This is the problem. If you get me on a night where I'm just like I can't talk football. It's
just bad jokes.
Who knows what will come out? It's all kinds of weird silliness. I might talk about JoJo. No, but look, if you guys like, I would love to look at Jojo Rabbit. That would be a good one. I'm really curious about that movie, and I think it'd be a good one to reverse redact. So if you guys see it, the sooner you guys see it, if I can see it too, I'm game.
It's probably online. It's not. It was out in theaters a while back, wasn't it?
It's not online, I don't think. If it's online, then where it's a go. But
how is it not online?
What are the other ones? So
Ford versus Ferrari.
That one I could do too.
1917.
Joker 1917. I don't know what else.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, Irishman, Little Women, Jojo Rabbit, and Marriage Story.
What is Parasite rated? Because that one is going to be a sneaky.
No idea.
That one's going to be. I really want to see that one. That's a sleeper.
Yeah, I've heard people talk it up, but I don't remember what it's about. Or
it's a foreign film, I think, or a remake of a foreign.
It's
film.
a foreign film.
Judging by the movie poster, it looks like it would
rated R.
Yeah. I just looked at the movie poster and I was like, yeah. All right. Well, we can figure it out
later.
All right.
Well, let's not have our identity crisis to the 2 viewers watching. One of which is Judah Buddha.
I actually tuned out. I'm just funny. Here's the 2 things I really want to do. And one of them can be incorporated into reverse redaction and faster than RotoHackers, and that is I really want to get a message board up for RotoHackers, and we can do it for reverse redaction to where viewers can tune in and see some, because I think a lot of good banter goes on between me and AJ and between me and Jared. It'd be nice to combine those in one place where other people can see them. I was thinking maybe Discord. Because I think you can show Discord on like a website.
I think Crypto EE was the one who suggested that too.
Okay. So I'm going to look into Discord. I haven't really used Discord much, but it can't be too hard. But yeah, so we're going to try it first. It'd be like, we'll try it with reverse redaction. I'm going to put it up on, I have to tell Ford to keep the swears to a minimum. Because Ford's going to be part, I'm sure, at least in part, he's going to be, tuning in every now and then, probably with comments and such. But, yes. Oh, and then the other thing is we must, a listener league, so maybe 3 things. A listener league and rankings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All 3 of us, rankings, man. We got to put those rankings.
No, I have no problem doing that.
I know you don't. You it was your idea, I think. I think it's a great idea. Now, that's just going to take a little bit more work, and it's going to take a better website. Like, I haven't updated the website in 4 years, I think. So, I got to dig into the website, update that one.
It's like a GeoCities URL.
No, but it is like an old WordPress theme.
AJ, do you even know? Have you ever heard of GeoCities? Okay, yeah.
Dude, that was almost before our time.
That was like no.
Almost.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what you're talking about. I just looked up a picture and I'm like, okay, I know what kind of website you're talking about.
It was like one of the first like site hosting services. So
how about what was like more recent was MySpace. Did you know what MySpace
no
was?
MySpace is
that wasn't that old.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you know what MySpace is. Yeah.
But no, MySpace was more like the first social media sort of thing.
GeoCities was the first social media because you could yes.
No.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. All right, AJ. I was like, we got a comment. No, it's AJ. He's got to go. I got to go too.
All right. I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself, so
you can.
I'll go too.
You need to get some sleep, anyways. All right, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah,
it's been real. Hasn't been real.
Full season. Yeah. Well, I believe that's our 45th episode of this season, I think.
As they said in the original cheesy Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh, here we go.
Don't say goodbye. Say good journey.
What a quote to end us on.
Indeed. Nice. Good journey.
Well, we will see you all next time on the RotoHackers podcast at a date to be determined. Thank you all for an incredible season. For sure, it's been awesome. Catch at least Judah Buddha and Jared, but hopefully all of us later on reverse redaction at some point. We'll talk about stuff and football, and hopefully we'll get up a Discord for you guys.
Go ahead and get subscribed to Reverse Redaction. Just Google Reverse Redaction.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Google it, but
could probably throw a link in this comment section or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm AJ Herschel. That's Judah Buddha. And y'all already know that it's Jared. We will see you next time on the RotoHackers podcast. And for Kylo, everyone's favorite RotoHacker, we will see you all next time on the RotoHackers podcast, where we talk about why Nacho Libre deserves a sequel. Have a good night, everyone.